From the Green Room Studios at Bates Nursery in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Gardening Inside Out, a podcast with highlights from our Saturday morning live show, answering all your gardening questions, giving you plant advice for any space in your life. Let's start the show.
Hey everybody, it's Caroline Gant.
And hi everyone, it's Austin Lowen.
And Tyler Blankenship. Good to see you.
We're all here. I don't know that you can see anybody.
It's good to hear,
It's good to hear.
Body.
but they can hear us, and that's what they're here for.
So we're all here, but you know what's leaving quickly?
What?
Them leaves on the trees.
Oh, they are starting to drop. Tyler leaf blowed the entire parking lot yesterday, and all the leaves were back by 10 a.m.
It was like seeing the beard regrow in Santa Claus, you know, the Santa Claus movie. And you're like, ugh, not again.
Yeah,
he did.
you don't really leaf blow until, at least most of the leaves have fallen.
Well, we have a brand new lot. I'm trying to take care of it.
Okay, I get it.
And, I'm trying to keep it clean. And you know what is really happening? Those acorns and hickory nuts from the tree line there are being dropped and then crushed by cars as they park.
They are. That's true. It's a good point. And the leaves that are on the trees this year, though, are really stunning this year. We've had a good fall season for Middle Tennessee specifically. We don't always get a great fall season. This year, it's been pretty good. A lot of colors out there.
Sometimes it just goes to brown, and then everything goes to sleep. But I-24 right now is absolutely stunning.
So
Gorgeous.
The main thing with that is ample rainfall, right? And cooler evening temperatures, but not freezing.
Yeah, I think that's helpful. And also, I think that there's weird stuff that happens with fall color as well. Like stress can also bring out colors. Now, did those colors stay longer? Typically not, but
they kind of go
things
brown
can happen.
earlier.
They'll go brown earlier, but sometimes their color to me can be more vivid, even on droughty years. It's odd. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, yeah, we kind of been dry-ish lately, and then we get, a little bit of rain here and there, just enough. But it's been weird but colorful, and I'm not mad at it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too. It's
You
been
know
good.
what's also weird and colorful?
What?
Roses and your passion for roses.
I got a little passionate on the show this past week about roses and
Yes,
a
you did.
guest that had some questions. I've got a rose in a pot, and I had to. If you don't know roses in Middle Tennessee, you got to know that black spot and insect damage happens, and it's pretty awful, and it happens every year.
They're just the worst here. I've had 7
I know.
that I've killed. I didn't kill it.
It's just Mother Nature and pests and all the stuff.
It's so humid here.
Fungus is bad. Rosarians, that grow roses here and that are good at it, they're spraying fungicides every 2 weeks. So it's a thing. I don't necessarily do that, so I'll prune out damage. So I say recently, it's probably about a month and a half ago, I literally cut off every single leaf. I got it pruned how I wanted to, and now it's a reflush, clean and green, looking good, and they're setting buds, and I think we'll have one more bloom on my rose.
Oh, you got to get a photo of that, and we will put it up on all the screens and social media.
You know I will.
Oh, we know you will. And then hopefully you start a full-on rose garden next year.
Maybe. I really want to, but God, does it work?
I think you should.
Well, of course you do. You don't have to do anything.
But I can look at photos of it, and I'm sure it'll be gorgeous. What else do we talk about?
Oh,
A lot of fall annuals, I think.
a lot of falling is a lot of pansy talk. Okay, we got a greenhouse full of pansies right now, and if you ain't got them out, you better do it.
You better do it. I did mine yesterday because I know in 1 week or maybe 10 days, it's going to go to freezing here finally.
Yeah, I heard next Wednesday we might get our first little frost.
First frost.
Is
So I
this
wanted
true?
to at least give them a couple days.
That's
to
about
really
on
latch
time.
in.
Yeah, typical. Yeah,
But a little early, I guess.
I usually tell people around Halloween is when you can expect the first kind of frost here.
I'm not ready.
I'm not either. I hate winter.
I don't have all my houseplants in yet.
God, me neither.
Most of my cactus is still out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to test them. We live on the edge.
That's right.
Me and my cactus.
Well, as plant people, you have to experiment sometimes to see what can live and what can't. So you test the boundaries.
Yeah, and I do test the boundaries with a lot of my plants, but I've learned from experience and I know so much about them at this point. So let's
good.
go ahead and let everybody know what we talked about for Saturday, October 21st.
Hey, Caroline.
Hey, Tyler.
Do you want to address something from last week?
You know
and
what,
clear the air.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Uh-oh,
So
what
I
happened?
have a photo to put up.
Yep.
Oh, Josh, you missed this.
Oh, boy.
Wish we could have brought Adam into the room. That would have been great. So last week we had a question about a mimosa, and I talked about how my weeping chocolate mimosa had died back to the to the graft, so it came back as the straight species. And I said I think it grew about 9 feet because they're fast growers. I love the plant. Again, it's invasive, but I just can't say no to those pink blooms that smell so good. So I did go home and I took a photo to show how tall it was because everyone gave me a hard time about it.
Well, you're 9 feet tall. So
Let's take a look at that.
Feet, right?
That's about 12 feet right there.
Okay.
So just wanted to bring that up and hear
There's
some
no
people
forced
say something.
perspective in this shot. Is You're not standing way behind the tree. Or
No, I'm
it looks
actually
like-
in front of it. I'm not even standing beside it, and it's not the tallest one. So that just goes to show how fast. And look at that face. Take that, y'all.
Pride.
How fast mimosa can grow.
Could you intertwine those? And
Yeah, I was actually talking about that. I was looking at it again last night with my husband, and I was like, you know what we should do? We should braid these together, and then I'm going to chop off the top and then see how
don't
it
do it
reflushes
quick.
next year. Oh, yeah, it's about time to do it. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that picture and show it because, yes, it did grow 9 feet. It actually grew about 12 feet.
Wow.
So I should be
There
showing
you
that to
are.
Adam later. Okay, but
That is
also
awesome.
there was one more housekeeping thing I do want to talk about before we get into questions, which is Isley round 2 did come this week. So a lot of people have been asking. We've actually gotten a lot of questions for our no down about when the Isley truck is set to be here. And it is here, y'all. It got here on Tuesday. And stuff is flying. I mean, people were already shopping as it was coming off the truck. It was like Black Friday.
The fall
It's a
color.
special event.
Oh,
The fall color of the maples coming out of Oregon right now is superb. Like it's as good as it's gonna get. They
Yeah.
are beautiful. The Japanese maples specifically is what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
just
Like,
go back in our C10, C11 section and look at them.
It's
stunning.
so good. The
All
yellows,
together.
the orange, the red. It's so good.
so good.
So good.
I think all the staff took pictures. I know Steve, I think, made it his profile picture on Facebook. We were all in awe. But we do have a Japanese maple question. So
Okay.
let's get on into those. Smaller Japanese maple that digs strong shade for an east-facing front bed, 20 feet behind a big maple tree.
Oh, well. I mean, kind of take your pick on that one. I mean, most Japanese maples are okay with some shade, and they're okay being an understory type plant. 20 foot away from another maple is no big deal. You can kind of go, well, almost really any different route. I'd say I would, I guess, avoid like the big growing, like red big leaf Japanese maples. Those prefer more sun to stay that really red. If you don't, give them full sun, they will kind of green up on you. But other than that, like really any of them will kind of be okay in that scenario. It just kind of depends on what you kind of want. Do you want like a weeping habit? Do you want an upright habit? You like a green leaf? Do you like a red leaf?
So many options.
There's so many options. I mean, we sell like what, 50 cultivars?
We have so many. My
100.
mom has a lace
100.
leaf cerii
Mm-hmm.
that I got her a couple years ago, and it's pretty much in full shade. I mean, it gets dappled sun throughout the day, and that one also grows so fast.
That one's fast.
Yeah, it's big and it's really healthy, and the lace leaves just look gorgeous. So that one I know would do great in shade.
And I particularly like it because it's a green leaf cultivar, and it's just a really good looking tree, regardless of the time of year. Some maples tend to get a little scorched looking at times.
Tamukiyama,
So,
Mr. Wu does not like it in August in Tennessee.
well,
because he
you know,
gets a
that's just they're
lot of- he
letting
gets
you know they're
sunburn.
getting ready to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yep, sleepy time. Yeah, my Katsura is in a little bit too much sun, so during the summer it gets a little burned, but now it's pushing out all this new growth and growing like crazy because the sun has changed. So we did get a second Japanese maple question. Top 3 Japanese maples you currently have in stock.
About right behind my head.
Oh,
Top
boy.
3.
Yeah.
That one's hard. I love the full moon.
Yes, that was going to go. The rising sun, full moon.
I want one of those so bad. I still
Do we
haven't
have any
gotten one.
orangeola?
We do have orangeola. That's a good one. That's a good one for fall color. Yeah, definitely. And spring color. Here in Middle Tennessee, the spring color on Japanese maples is almost better than the fall color, if
Yeah.
not better. Like they emerge so vibrant.
Vibrant, yeah.
Yes, that's the word. It's so good. Orangeola is definitely like that. And like Caroline said, the full moon, rising sun, it's got a big leaf. It's a different species altogether. Typically, Japanese maples is Acer palmatum. That's the specific botanical name. This one's Acer japonicum. Japonicum just means like from Japan, pretty much. But it's a big leaf. And God, we've got one right now that is showing off. red, orange, yellow, all in the same leaf.
Wow.
Mostly red, but it is money. It is money, looking good. I can't even say top 3. There's too many.
But you have to. Oh, I think we together as a unit we've gotten to 2.
We've gotten
right?
to 2. I've got a Ryusin. That's a weeping green leaf maple. I like it.
Do we have it in stock?
Yes.
All right,
We've
so
got
there
like
you
10
go.
in stock.
No, Austin, I understand that on your for your columnar trees webinar you did that the Twombly's, which is behind my head and right over there near Tyler, it's a great statement. Japanese maple for a slender example. So if you've got
Yeah.
a spot where you just don't have the width to afford something that really spreads out, that's a really good choice. And obviously the color is outstanding.
Also, when you talk about affording and Japanese maples, folks, just budget it and find where your number's going to be. Because, I mean, they are not inexpensive. So you having the
they're
variety to go with, but they're glorious. And the reason they're not inexpensive is it takes so long for them to get to the point where they actually come to market, right, David?
It's all relative. You know, if the longer it takes for something to get of a given size, the more expensive it's going to be. So things that are slow growing always tend to cost more than things that have a rapid growth habit.
Right.
Yeah, that's so true. If it grows slow, it costs more. That's just how it is.
We talked about hellebore last week. That's another one that grows slow and is so expensive.
It's probably the priciest perennial you can buy.
Yeah.
It's like at $30 now for a little 1 gallon.
But when they get established, they are absolutely
I
spectacular.
love them.
They are, and they're very long lived.
Uh-huh.
They're
And
gonna
they're almost maintenance free too.
Yeah,
You
pretty
just
much.
don't have to do anything to them.
Yep.
That gives it a lot of value, in my opinion, right
Yep.
there.
I have one. I wish I had like 20.
I'll have to get a picture of my daughter's hellebore bed that they had when they bought their house. It's honestly, folks, it's 20 feet wide and probably 20 feet deep. And
Oh, we need a photo of that,
yeah,
Josh.
it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's
Come
Man, here-
February, that would be an outstanding time. It
Yes.
should be spectacular.
So let's get to another question about boxwoods and planters.
Okay.
Boxwoods and planters. Reshape now or wait until spring?
Okay, so your boxwoods have probably shot a little bit of growth this fall. That happens sometimes with boxwoods. So if they're getting stringy, they're getting a little leggy, you need to cut the leg out. I mean, I'm totally fine with you shaping them up now. We've gotten to the point to where night temps are so low, day temps are average. So we're starting to we'll get maybe a little bit warm, but nothing too crazy. So your boxwoods aren't going to just like shoot a lot of growth now. So if you want to go ahead and shape them up, if you're a tidy person like I am, then I'm going to take those boxwoods back and I'm going to get them tightened up for the winter season. Go ahead and do it.
Now you're only talking about taking off the long
Yes.
growth. You're not talking about actually doing any kind of a severe cutback because after all, they're going to look, however you cut them, they're going to look that way all winter long.
Exactly.
So you don't want them to be stubby looking, but
No.
you can certainly shape them up nice right now, and you won't have to trim them again until they flush next year.
I love boxwoods.
Austin does too.
I do. I do.
We're not gonna talk about it.
No.
This is the first week we're not going to talk about it, really? Since the deep freeze, you're not going to bring it up today? Today's like the day? Like, no, we're not going to talk about Austin's
I'm
dead
trying
boxwoods?
so you talked about it.
Yeah. It's been
said
talked
it.
about every week.
All right, so how are they doing?
They're dead. They're dead. You know what I noticed? The
your
bark is...
petunias look awesome, though, don't
Petunias
they?
look great. They're great.
And the great thing about wave petunias that you've got growing in that area now is that they're going to look great for a long time. You know, they can handle a lot of really chilly weather. They may get bit back a little bit, but they're still going to. I wouldn't be surprised if you've got flowers at Christmas time.
I know.
Depending on what the weather does.
Yeah, I've seen that with petunias. Petunias are so cold hardy. I mean, I've seen them like literally like 25 degrees. Last year, I observed 25 degrees at night, and they were still okay whenever I got home that day. Now, that day we had a nice warm up fairly quickly. So if that would have stayed 25 to 30 throughout the day, maybe I wouldn't have seen that. But it warmed up quick, and them petunias stayed up.
They are gorgeous.
They're so good.
If y'all haven't seen the picture, I think we brought it up last week, maybe the week before, of Austin's petunias, but also on our Instagram page. So if you want to take a little look at Austin's garden, those petunias we talk about every week, they are there. Let's talk about crabapple trees. I
All
didn't
right.
know there was a crabapple tree named Tina.
There is.
That's
She's short.
pretty cool.
She's a short one.
She's a short little crabapple. Well, we have a viewer that has Tina, the crabapple. It flowered last spring, has had red berries, but hasn't had many leaves for a while now. Is it struggling or is this normal?
This is normal. Come to our tree lot for a minute. Come look at our crab apples that we've had from the spring, okay? All of them. This year, for some reason, apples and crab apples loaded with fruit. Loaded. And this is around town. This is on our tree lot. It's in your yard, obviously. They are really focusing on that fruit right now, and they've shut down their leaves a little bit. Now, it's not unusual for crab apples to kind of shut down their leaves a little bit early anyway. That's kind of part of it. They don't have like great fall color. It just kind of is what it is. But this year, they've been loaded with fruit, and whenever they are loaded that much with fruit, they will senesce, and they will drop some of those leaves.
They will what?
Senesce.
Okay.
Like senescence is like the dropping of leaves.
Oh, okay.
That's a grand
got a
horticultural
lesson.
term. But anyway, no, your
I'm the
plant
dumb
is
guy
fine.
in the room. He's got to explain this stuff. So.
Yeah, no.
You are not the dumb guy in the room.
Who is?
Yeah, senescing. Yeah.
I am.
But anyway, your crab apple's probably fine. I say probably. It definitely is fine. I mean, it's holding fruit. That's what it wants to do. But Tina's such a good little dwarf crab apple that blooms white in the
Tina.
spring. Tina, she cute.
Is
Y'all.
she?
Tina's cute.
I need to take a look at Tina. Do we have any Tinas in stock?
Yes.
I think a lot of people get concerned about their plants this time of year as they're going into dormancy, simply because they've gotten accustomed to this active growth stage that
Yep.
occurs from spring through summer, and now that they're going to sleep, or at least going into dormancy, it's frequent for people to misinterpret those signs as there being something wrong. And right now, things are just in the shutting down prior to winter stage, which is what they should be doing, Josh, because when we don't have plants really in a good state of dormancy,
Things like
the
December
damage that can
happen
occur
last-
from a
yeah.
freeze like we got last year can
Yeah.
be exacerbated greatly. So hopefully that all gets averted this year 100%.
Hey, real quick, what color bloom is on the Tina
White.
crabapple? White.
White, pure white.
Tina.
And all over
Classy.
it. She classy. She's short.
Most short Tinas are very classy.
Uh-huh.
So. Gardening Inside Out is brought to you by Earth Mix Garden Products, creating regionally sourced high-quality soil blends and amendments for the sustainable-minded gardener. Fall and winter are great times to plant in the Southeast, and Earth Mix can help you with Landscape Soil Conditioner. Mix Landscape with your native soil to feed all winter long. Added mycorrhizal fungi help your plants get established faster and increase hardiness through the year ahead. Visit earthmix.net for more information and retailers near you. Remember, success begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix garden products.
Real quick before we dive into some other chaos, Nina is asking, do I mix in Earth Mix now in a new bed for roses I'm creating, or do I blend it in at bare root planting time?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, there it is.
So the answer is yes now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly you can do it now. Or
or
then.
when you plant them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Either
David's
one
right.
will
It doesn't
Cool.
matter. Either way.
Nice.
But nice of you to start a rose garden. I've been honestly thinking about starting a rose garden. Y'all.
Another one?
No.
A proper
Okay. So,
Probably.
yes, a proper one. I'm going to make it proper.
Okay.
I attended a meeting with the Rose Society, and they got me like excited about growing roses. Okay?
You didn't attend the meeting. You spoke at the meeting.
I did. I had an hour-long speech on
Yes.
hydrangeas. I just went hydrangea
And
wild
I'm
on
sure
it.
you were passionate.
They had
yes.
keg when David spoke to him. Did they
I'm
have
sure it was a
keg that day you were
sermonette
there?
because
Oh, yeah.
Sermonette.
Austin is not he's not ambivalent towards anything. He feels strongly about stuff.
Yes.
Particularly when it comes to roses. He can become. He's got to have like some of those old preachers have a handkerchief to wipe his mouth with.
true.
because
Uh-huh.
You're right,
He just
David.
gets really excited about it, and that is contagious.
It is. And I want to make a whole new bed. I want to make a spot for roses. Just roses.
Yep.
But gosh, that takes work.
Yes.
Oh, it takes so much work here.
Just take us through your journey if you do it.
Okay, I will. I
Nina
haven't
says,
started it yet.
Austin, Nina says she has 85 plus roses. What are you going to do?
Nina.
Is Nina here in Tennessee?
Nina, get to me.
Nina, let us know. Yeah, get
Are you
to
here? I
Austin.
need pictures. My God, 85 roses? Surely you got If you got 85 roses, you've got at least like 1,085 pictures of your roses.
That's right,
I know
at
that.
least.
Plant
So I
people
know-
have pictures.
Roses are hard here in Tennessee.
Oh.
So that's why Austin feels the way he feels right now.
I do. Hey,
That's why I want to know if Nina
She
is in
says
fact
it's
in
worth
Tennessee.
it. That's right.
Yes.
it is. She's right. Nina, I like you. Already.
You done made a
You're
friend.
doing it. You got 85 roses. Like you're
You are
killing it.
You're really doing it.
Yeah.
We need to see pictures, Nina, of this rose garden.
Absolutely.
We'll share them.
Yeah.
How many sprayers you got? You gotta be. You've been spraying. If you live in Middle Tennessee, you've been spraying them. I know you have. If they're clean,
She
are your
says
roses
she's coming
clean?
in this week. So, okay.
Alexis over here on the Bates page is saying, speaking of amending gardening beds, which is better, topsoil or garden soil?
Oh well, the garden.
Supernatural
Yeah.
and earth mix.
Supernatural.
I mean, if you have pretty good soil already,
Yeah.
probably the best and easiest thing to do is simply to amend it with supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to give you all the things that you need to really get your microbe levels back up. You're going to be reintroducing a lot of endo and ectomycorrhiza fungi into
yeah.
it, humic acid, a lot of additional organic material. So just by doing that, you're going to really make life pretty easy on yourself. And if you do it, whether you do it right now or whether you wait and do it in the spring, it will work either way. So if you've got the time to do it right now, it's a really great time. It may be one of those chores you can get done in the fall. And because in the springtime, you probably want to be busy planting. So that would be one less thing to have to do at that time.
I love Supernatural.
Yeah.
I use it every year.
When I amend my supernatural, it's like mixing brownie mix.
Yep.
And you just can't resist it. And you're like, ooh, anything that's going to go into here is going to do so good.
The little mantis tiller just loves it. I mean, they just get in there and they spin it all around and have it all. They have such a good
It
time.
makes it perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. Never a bad time to add organic material.
Nope.
That's right.
Nope.
Never.
Ever.
Never, ever.
Jack is asking, do y'all have any of the native rhododendrons that Austin talked about in a video a while back?
Oh man. Yes, we should right now. Those are probably the deciduous.
The deciduous are the native. The orange bloomers.
The deciduous azaleas.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, technically, an azalea is a rhododendron. That's its genus, but yeah,
All azaleas are rhododendron, not all rhododendron
other
are
way
azaleas.
yeah. But we should have some right now. I'm pretty sure we do.
yeah.
Pretty sure we do.
We
I
can
call
check it
for an
for ya.
inventory check.
Don't get that radio out. It's going to make all of our
No.
ears hurt.
Don't visit that chaos
But I
upon
bet
us.
we do. I love my
Oh my
deciduous azalea.
One of
I got dancing rabbit. I think that's what it's called.
yeah, you dancing. Yeah, it was dancing rabbit, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And then Tallulah Sunset is another one, right? Yeah.
There's so many that are good. People come from all over the world to the Smoky Mountains to see the deciduous azaleas in bloom. They do.
so pretty.
They come there to see that. I want to see that. I haven't seen that yet.
I've
You
seen
have
it.
not seen that
I've
yet?
lived here my whole life. I've never seen that
really?
You know why,
Gotta go
don't you?
up there.
Because
because it's in the spring.
it's in the spring. Yeah,
We live here in the spring.
everything that happens in the spring, we've never seen it.
That's right.
I can tell you that for 67 years
Yeah.
with certainty. There's just a whole lot of things that I've
It's
never
quite
seen.
amazing.
We're here for
it
you
goes.
in the spring.
That's right. We are here for you. And we're here for these questions. So let's get some more in. Are water oaks good trees for this area? I don't even know what a water oak is.
The old water oak. Shout out to my dad in East Texas who's got a water oak in his yard. Quercus nigra. Yes, this is the botanical. And water oaks can live here. Are they native here? No, actually. They're
Do they
not.
want to live here?
Well, they're much more, hence the name water oak. They're a very coastal oak. Okay, kind of like a live oak, if you will, a little bit. They have these short little kind of stubby leaves. There's like a million of them. And like I said, they can live in Middle Tennessee. You can plant them. We've actually never carried them here that I know of.
The best, more local choice would be a willow oak, which has a very similar leaf. It doesn't have the little lobe on it like the water oak has, but they're still both very slender. I mean, you get 1 billion leaves with a tree. They have just huge numbers of them. If I were trying to decide, I think I would go with a willow oak. They really do well here. And from 30 feet away, they will not look different. They do the same thing. They just have that one little lobe on the leaf on the water oak that the willow oak just has a leaf that's, as the naming indicates, more similar to a willow leaf look, although they have no part of willow in them. They just have a slender leaf.
They just have lots of them.
Yeah, I actually had to identify a tree. Like I said, in my dad's yard in East Texas, he didn't know what his oak was. We all knew it was an oak, and I had to identify it. So I did, and I identified it as a water oak. And this past year, he told me it died. Yeah. Or did it die, or did they have to do something? Maybe the company, maybe like the electrical company had to do something. I'm not sure what it was. But he lost his water oak, okay? And then he had to plant a new one. You know what he planted? You know what I talked him into?
Right.
A Chinese pistache.
Oh, that's a great choice.
They live great down in Texas.
Yes,
Compound leaves, beautiful fall color, red fall color, just fantastic. He planted one of those. Shout out, Daddy. Hope you're doing good out there in Texas.
Yep. Water oak, Kimberly commented that you should see them on the eastern shore of Maryland, which is absolutely in a coastal plain, and
Yes.
I agree. They are gorgeous.
Yep,
Yes.
they're native there. They're native there.
Additional support for Gardening Inside Out is brought to you by Bates Nursery and Garden Center, a third-generation nursery located in Nashville, Tennessee, and 20-time recipient for Nashville's Best Garden Center, offering the widest selection of new arrivals for fall, like specimen conifers, Japanese maples, and pansies in nearly every color. Open year-round, minutes from the heart of Nashville in beautiful Whites Creek, Tennessee. Browse their selection online anytime at batesnursery.com. Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932.
Thank you to the readers of Nashville Scene and, of course, our Bates Rewards members who helped vote for us. We, for the 20th time, were voted Best Nursery and Garden Center in Nashville. We take that honor seriously, and we don't just assume that that's going to happen. We really continue to work on honing what we do, improving our facilities and our selection and our practices. And additional to that, I've got this little blog that I write every week. And if you can scroll down the page on the website, you'll see that the next section down is the newsletter sign up. If you'd like to get my newsletter that I write every week, you can put your name and email address in and actually check that you want to receive it. Click on that. You'll be enlisted and entered right into the mailing list, and you'll get that in your inbox one time a week. We do not share your information with anybody. And as we approach 31,000 subscribers to that, which I am extremely honored by that. We really appreciate you taking the time to read what I put forth out there and to do business with us. We really try to make a difference in Nashville and Middle Tennessee, and we appreciate the opportunity to get to do that with you. So thank you for supporting Bates Nursery and Garden Center and for all the various things we do. Beautifying Nashville since 1932, Bates Nursery and Garden Center, and we appreciate you giving us a moment to talk about that and to, as the newsletter this week says, not rest on our laurels, or no resting on laurels is the actual case.
Shauna wants to talk about winterizing. I have 10 gardenias I had to replace this year. What is the best way to winterize? I came back in with foolproof and frostproof.
Gardenias.
Gardenias?
Here are sassy.
The toughest of all plants to grow, in my estimation. I'd call them almost
impossible.
Yeah.
At least improbable.
Yeah. It's just
that's
such
a name, frost-proof. Just remember, it doesn't say freeze-proof. It says frost-proof.
Frost-proof. Yeah.
They're just picky here, y'all, and not even picky. That's not the word. They
Not
like it
happy.
warm.
Yep.
Yeah, we get cold here, and they don't like it. They're supposed to be an evergreen plant, are they? Not typically.
I don't think it gets cold in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
I really don't. That's one of the places that they're native to.
So
Kind of need to treat them as a sometimes hardy annual. I
so
mean, seriously,
Yeah.
if you're gonna put those out, just know that the chances are that they could freeze. They're going to almost certainly freeze back to the ground every year. You may be able to do some mulching around them that might be able to preserve them where that they don't freeze out. That way, you could cut them back severely and let them grow back out every year. But gardenias they're more than persnickety. They're just not that hardy here. And a lot of people want them.
Yep.
The fragrance of the flowers is spectacular, but have your expectations in the right spot and understand that there's a good chance they're not going to make it, particularly if you don't take extra measures to mulch them and protect them over the winter months.
Shout out to Tyler holding it down in Mission Control.
Yeah,
Thanks
get it,
to
Tyler.
Yeah.
thanks, Colin. Appreciate that.
Colin must be an IT guy or something. He loves
No,
Tyler.
he's into podcasting.
Oh.
He's
Oh, that's that Colin. I
Yes.
saw him a couple days ago. You know what he was? What's
no,
up,
not
Colin?
that Colin, the Colin.
Oh,
It's
the
not.
Colin.
It's actually not Mission Control. It's the Battle Bridge over there. Is where it is.
I have not created a term for it. There's no
Okay.
official
Well,
term.
we just
Hey,
did.
he was out here the other day buying pansies and putting his tulips down below
Yes.
them.
It was good to see you.
It was. It was good. What's up, my dude?
You know what else it's good to see too?
What?
The end music. With Austin. Holding
Hi.
it down, as you say.
Y'all, there ain't much in bloom. There ain't much in bloom right now, but I'll give you a few. I'll give you just a few, okay? Grasses still going.
Yes.
Okay. My Chinese snowball viburnum. If you're not growing a Chinese snowball viburnum, I'm telling y'all, I've talked about it for the past couple weeks. Crisp white blooms, and they bloom right now and also in the spring. Like, what's not to love? Grows very, very fast. It's a viburnum, so it grows anywhere. Like, great plant to grow. Y'all, come on. I got some 3 gallons out here right now for like $30. $30 shrub. Like, throw it in the dirt. Come on.
Yep.
All right. Anemone. Anemone's great. Love it. Dainty, beautiful little blooms. Love them. The annuals are still blooming, y'all, but hey, it's time to get them out. I'm sorry, but it's time. Your Vinca looks good. Your Lantana looks good. That's all cool. You better get them out and get your pansies in,
'Cause they're
or
gonna turn-
or you're not going to have a good pansy crop. Y'all, next week is like 70s, like mid 70s, almost up into 80. Like, this is prime growing pansy time, okay? Like, pansies need some good warmth to get the green good, and then it'll make your flowers good through the wintertime.
Yep.
So get your annuals out. I just did it. I meant to send pictures to Tyler. I was too late. He scolded me this morning because I was too late. I'm always late
That's
on
show
this.
business, baby.
That's right. I wasn't ready. But I ripped out my Vinca. Got it all clean. Vinca looked good still, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. My kids were like, Daddy, why are you pulling out those flowers? They look so good. And I'm like, they gotta go. They gotta go. And pansies are in. All right? We have 1 billion pansies. Come on and get them. Celosia's still looking good. Pansies, mums, y'all. That's what's blooming. Caroline wrote down prickly pear is fruiting.
Yes.
Yeah, so not a bloom, but almost more attractive than the bloom. So they have these like dark purple, kind of maroon fruit, and now's the time to start harvesting it. Now that it's kind of soft, mine look great right now.
Caroline, I need
do
to
you
know
eat
how to
yours?
harvest. I have some on mine.
Gloves and a knife.
Do you eat it? Why would we harvest it?
Yes.
Let me ask this.
Yeah,
Why
you
would-
can eat it. You
Absolutely.
can.
Yeah, is it good though?
It is. It tastes
Have you
like
not
a
had-
very light strawberry. I brought some in last year.
I didn't
Were you
get
like,
that.
yuck, Caroline?
I didn't
I'm
get
gonna
that
eat
batch.
this."
Have you
Awesome.
not had the probably artificially to semi-naturally flavored prickly pear hibiscus agua fresca from Panera Bread?
No.
You couldn't even get it out. You
No,
love
I
it
couldn't.
so much.
That's a mouthful.
It really does add to the flavor, and I want to try it.
I ain't
Really
even
good.
never been to a Panera Bread. No, I don't know what that is. But I need
don't
to eat.
know what that
I
is.
need to eat a prickly pear fruit.
Man doesn't
So-
leave Cheatham County.
I'll
So,
bring you
come on.
one
Except for
tomorrow.
Bates.
But the way I
Should be
harvest
make-
it,
Should
Tyler,
be making some prickly pear preserves.
Yeah,
Yes.
yep, you can make a lot.
Yeah, go on and whip that up for
Once
us.
it gets
Triple P.
I am not going to whip
Yes.
that up for everybody. Once they get ripe, though, the spines aren't quite as dangerous because the fruit does have the spines on it. So I twist it off and then I'll use like a glove or a fabric to kind of pull the rest of the spines off. And then once it is, what's the word I'm looking for?
We used to
Ripe.
split them.
Ripe.
We used to split them and use a spoon.
You can open them. They have
Yeah.
these crazy seeds
Yeah.
in them. I actually sent a picture to a group thread, Tyler and
That's what it
Austin and
was.
Ben
I
last
was like,
night.
what is this
I was
purple
out in my
mess?
yard eating some. But yeah, they will color. My hands are probably still kind of.
You got that.
Okay,
Little
that's
bit.
a little stretch.
Got that poke salad color.
But we are towards our last few minutes, so I want to get some more questions in because we did get a lot of annual questions in this week. When should I plant daffodil bulbs? Is this weekend too soon?
No.
No, negative. It's perfect. This is perfect bulb time.
Do it now. How late is too late for daffodil?
3:30.
There is no too late for daffodils, really. I mean, besides like once we get into like spring or something, like you need to do it like while it's cold. So go ahead and get them in. Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, no. You do want to avoid planting them too early because then if it's really warm weather, they might try to jump up, in the fall or whatever. But like now, no. Night temps are low. It's time to plant bulbs. It's bulb planting time.
And if you really want to get the cultivars you're looking for, go ahead and buy them, even if you don't want to plant them right now. I mean, there's no urgency, there's no rush to plant them, but they once they sell out, they're gone for the year. So if you see cultivars or certain colors that you really like, you ought to go ahead and get them, and then you can plant them, in a few weeks from now if you wish. So there's no particular rush, but they will run out.
When should I start planting pansies and violas?
Today.
Now.
Just told
A
you.
month ago.
I just told you.
Should have been about for. I just did mine this past week, but I wish I would have done it like 3 weeks ago. To be honest with you.
Yep.
But do it. It's time.
I'm going to do mine on Sunday.
KLG is asking on YouTube, just bought some Japanese holly at Bates last week. Tips on planting. Today is planting day.
All right.
Oh, planting
good work.
is the best.
Nothing weird. Nothing weird about planting them.
Nope, dig a hole.
Yeah, dig a hole a little bit bigger than that pot. Slam them in.
Slam them on in.
Yeah, I mean,
Hopefully you got some earth mix landscape to mix with the
Absolutely.
soil.
have your little bag of soil next to you, ready to go. Mix it in with your native soil. Press it in firmly. That's a big
That's a
common
big one.
mistake.
Yep.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you. You don't want to be loose with your planting. You really want
Nope.
that soil tight around that root zone. And then you're going to soak it. You're going to keep it nice
Drown
and
it.
moist right around that root zone. And then it's going to be great. You're going to love it.
And when Austin says soak it, he means
Drown it.
water it,
Soak
let
it.
it soak in. Water it, let it soak in.
Yes, multiple times, not just once.
Multiple times. This question, I know Tyler would have a lot to say about it. How to prep an in-ground banana tree for the winter. Do I cut it down?
Oh ho 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 ho! Do
Tyler.
you
man.
cut it down? I don't. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it's gonna get really slimy, brown, and messy
Oh,
if you
it's
don't.
yuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
It's
really
a yuck thing.
Yeah, because basically that's all herbaceous. So when it gets hit, and also the
It's
the
squishy.
banana fluid is sticky.
Yeah.
It's
And then it
99% water.
Yes.
Sticky water.
And it turns brown when exposed to oxygen. So you will stain everything, even just coming into contact with it. I have a machete. I have a handsaw.
Yes.
You can just go get your jungle Rambo on. And
Yes, get a
just-
sword.
Yeah, sword. I mean, be safe though. Don't. We didn't tell you to do this. This is just me
No, be wild.
expressing Austin. So, and then I usually just get them out of there. I compost them. I cut the logs up into tiny little chunks so they can break down. They take a long time to compost because, again, there's so much water in there,
So much.
and
I
it's
bought
winter.
a machete just for this purpose this
Yes.
year.
Yeah. So
It's so
Josh,
they
fun.
will
Josh
not
knows.
burn.
Nope.
Yes,
It
no.
won't burn.
And I mean, the leaves will eventually because they dry out pretty good. But that's about the only. But eventually is a very strong word there. And mulch them over. Now they are hardy to, I believe, zone 5 or 4.
They're super hardy.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta do anything.
Yeah.
kill 'em.
But the thing is, with the freeze last year, I found that some of the stumps that they usually grow back from froze out.
Uh-huh.
And so, if
Wow.
you want to preserve those stumps, then you probably need to mulch those over. And I mean, maybe some years they just die out anyway, but I've found that when I mulch them, I get them growing back more from there than just sending out a ton of pups. Although they do that anyway, but it helps kind of control the spread a little.
You have a grove of banana trees. Austin did a It's Worth a Grow on your banana trees a couple years back.
It was fun.
And my gosh.
Musabajju. We have tons of them, don't we?
We
Oh,
still do
yeah.
have a
Yeah.
lot. Yes.
We have a lot in
do.
stock at the nursery.
Same thing for elephant ears, guys,
You could mulch those over too
Yeah.
in a pot.
In
Okay.
a pot.
in a pot. I don't know. Dig those up, maybe.
Or dig
Yeah,
them
if they're
out.
in a
Put 'em
pot,
in your
just
shed.
bring them in.
Yeah. Put them in your garage.
Very cool. Very, very
Hey, what does
cool.
that music mean?
That went fast.
It means it's time. It's time to get out of here. You got to get out, get out to the nursery and pick something up new because you got to get it planted because there's a football game this afternoon.
Well, outstanding weather is
Yeah.
in your favor today.
Absolutely
So no matter
it
what you
is.
got going on, come on out and see us.
Yep,
No
absolutely.
dust.
Yep, and see the new parking lot. It really is cool. You'll enjoy that. You'll enjoy your visit at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. I promise you, it is worth the drive from everywhere. Hey, for the entire At Home Show team, we thank you for participating. Go out to all your social media, like, share, subscribe. You know, ring bells, do everything that you got to do. Spread
And tell
the word.
your friends.
Ring
Tell
bells.
your friends. Oh, you got to ring a bell on one of
Gotta
those
ring a
things.
bell.
So we'll
Yes.
see you next Saturday morning right here from the Green Room Studio at Bates Nursery and Garden Center.